Codenames is a spy-themed, word-based game for 4 or more players on 2 teams.
The object of the game is to link randomized words together for your team to guess, but there's a catch. You can only use one-word clues.
Each team has either 8 or 9 words depending on who goes first, and the team that guesses all their words first wins. There are also 2 and 3 player variants listed on the back of the rulebook, but I won't be covering them in this video. Included in the box are 200 double-sided codename cards, 40 randomized key cards, a plastic stand for the key cards, 25 thicker cardboard cards. These are the agent, double agent, innocent bystander, and assassin cards, a sand timer, and the instruction manual. The game is laid out in a 5x5 grid using the double-sided codename cards. Each team chooses either red or blue, and then they each choose one of their players to be the spy master. They're the ones who give the clues. The spy masters should set up the key card between them on the plastic stand, somewhere where the other players cannot see its face. The key card has 4 glowing lights on it, either in red or blue. The color on the card determines which team goes first. This card also acts as a sort of map, so that you can see which words are yours, which are your opponents', which are the innocent bystanders, and which is the assassin. In this example, the red team will go first. Give the double agent card to the starting team. They will have an extra word to guess to offset the advantage of going first.
Okay, we're all set up and ready to begin. First, the spy masters are going to study the key cards to determine which words they need to get their teams to guess. Next, the red spy master is going to link as many of their words together as they can using a one-word clue. They will then say the word aloud along with the number of words that they are attempting to link together. So for example, they might give the clue train 3 in order to get their team to guess line, plane, and conductor, since all of these words relate to the clue in some way. There is no limit to the number of words that they can attempt to link. The words on the table represent the spy's code names, and it's the rest of the team or the field operative's job to contact their spies by guessing those code names. The rest of the team will then consult each other on which words they think the spy master wants them to guess. It's very important at this stage that the spy master does not give away any information regarding what they want their team to guess. They need to try and remain as neutral as possible, including facial expressions and other body language. While the rest of the team can say anything they like, the spy master is not allowed to answer any questions or engage in the conversation in any way that may give away the correct answers. If you're unsure, it's best to just not say it. Once the team has decided on which words they want to guess, they will appoint someone to touch the cards one at a time. Touching the card is like locking in your final answer. The spy master whose turn it is will then put the cardboard card of the corresponding color on top of the card they touched. If the card is the correct color, the team may touch a second card, and so on. If the color was incorrect, the turn is over and it passes to the next team. If the card they touch is the assassin, the game is over, and the team that touched the assassin loses. Provided that they keep making correct guesses, they may guess as many cards as they like, up to 1 more than the number the spy master said. So if they get all the cards they think the spy master wanted them to, they may make an extra guess. This extra guess can be used to make up for wrong guesses on previous turns, or if you're brave, can be used to try and get an advantage on the other team. Even after a clue has been guessed, even if it's correct, the spy master is still not allowed to tell them if those are the words they meant. The turn will end once A. all of the guesses have been used, B. they guess incorrectly, or C. they decide to end their turn without making any more guesses. Play will pass to the next team, and the game will continue like so until one team guesses all of their cards, and then they are the winners, or one team guesses the assassin, and then they are the losers.
At this point, you pretty much know everything you need to in order to play. If you come up with any questions during the game, most of them can be answered in the rulebook. However, if you don't like flipping through rulebooks looking for answers to questions, keep watching, and for the remainder of the video, I'll cover some of the most commonly asked questions. Before we get to those questions, I'm just going to cover 2 more expert rules. The first is the 0 rule. You may give the number 0 as your number when giving a clue to mean none of the words relate to this clue. If you use 0, your team may make as many guesses as they want, though they still have to make at least 1. This rule is great for if you've already given clues for all your words, but your team is hung up on a word or two that they're not sure about.
In this example, two of the clues the red spymaster gave earlier were ammunition and fire. There are only 2 words left for the red team to guess, but there are 3 words that might relate to those clues. The spymaster will now give the clue Battle 0. This eliminates war as a possibility, so the red team knows which 2 words to choose. The second rule is the unlimited rule. This simply gives your team as many guesses as they want. This helps to keep your team from having a specific number in mind that they might feel like they need to make up for if they guess one wrong.
Okay, on to the questions. The first question most of you probably have is, what's the timer for? The timer is to be used at the discretion of the players. You can use it to set time limits for the spymasters, the guessers, or anything else you want. If you feel it will help improve the gameplay, agree upon a use for it and use it for that. Officially, it can be used by anyone to give a time limit to a slow player, but in the interest of making sure nobody feels singled out, I find it best to have an agreed upon use before using it. What counts as one word? Sometimes English can be tricky. What one person thinks is one word may in fact be 2. For instance, the word necktie is 1 word, whereas bow tie is 2 words. You also can't use hyphenated words such as mother of pearl. I find it easiest to use Google search to figure it out before giving the clue. But if not everyone playing has a smartphone, it might be best to have a dictionary on hand. If you do give an invalid clue and someone calls you on it, you automatically lose your turn and it passes to the next team, so be careful before giving your clues. Can I use letters instead of words as my clue? Yes and no. You may not use a part of the word you're trying to get your team to guess, including single letters. So for instance, you can't say neck in order to link the word necktie. You also can't use X3 in order to link X-ray, fox, and next. You could, however, use X2 as a clue for ray and men. Numbers also work this way, so you couldn't say 3 as your clue for bog, tea, and cat if they were the last 3-letter words on the table. But you could use the clue 8-2 for octopus and spider, since that doesn't have anything to do with the actual composition of the words. Can I use proper nouns? Yes, you can. In fact, the rulebook even suggests getting everyone to agree that multiple word proper nouns such as Captain Hook or New York City should count as 1 word. And that brings me to another point. Don't be too strict. As long as the group agrees to play a certain way, you can really do things however you want. One thing you will need to be careful of is making sure that if you're playing with someone who learned the game elsewhere, that you discuss any house rules before starting. That way everyone's on the same page. That about covers the most common questions my friends and I have come up with when playing the game. So, go have fun playing one of the most popular party games of the last few years. I find the game is best with 6 to 8 players. Less than that means someone's going to be doing the guessing all by themselves, and it takes away from the full experience. But more than 8 gets a little crowded, and the game can start to drag, especially if you have multiple people with very strong opinions on the same team. But that's all I've got for you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and go have fun playing Codenames.